So Uber has applied to come to Kelowna. Most people agree that's great news, but one city councillor says that as long as this province maintains a requirement for a Class 4 driver's license, there may be difficulty finding enough drivers. And ride-hailing is only as good as the number of drivers you have.
What's pretty exciting, actually I wasn't sure it was going to actually happen because of the Class 4 restriction. I think last time we spoke, we said that may restrict the number of drivers for the rideshare, which, as you know, they need some drivers. You want to see a few cars driving around in order to get a rideshare. So I think now that they feel like there's a market, at least, that's great news. So it's an application process to the Passenger Transportation Board, and then we should hear shortly if they approve it or not.
Now we have seen these independents start to up, things like Lucky to Go,
yeah,
etc.
To be honest with you, I don't have a relationship with them. I don't know anybody from Lucky to Go, so I saw their launch. I was pretty excited to have our first rideshare company in town. I think the mayor welcomed them by being the first rider kind of thing, but other than that, I don't know how well they're doing, but I still know we have a large gap in our evenings for people getting a safe ride home, and that's a pretty big thing that hopefully we can solve by adding more rideshare companies.
Is that one of the main reasons why you were so insistent that we do what we need to do to get ride-hailing here? Is it that safe ride home?
Yeah, so I've been stuck a few times myself, and I don't go out that often without a plan to go home because my wife never drinks, so I always have a safe ride home. But it's like, so if we go to a staff party though and she's going home, like, there is not a safe ride home.
You were pretty critical of the province. You know, you said we were 4 or 5 years behind on all this, but they held out to require at least a Class 4 driver's license for people to participate. And now here's Uber coming back and doing it. So it almost looks like they held out for a certain standard and they won the day.
Okay, so the customer service is still going to be based on how many drivers. So when we get our license, it's very similar to what people are going to get with a Class 4. Class 4 is about a 12-person to 15-passenger vehicle. That's never what people are driving when they're doing an Uber, almost never. So the restrictions they added were more of a filter than actually a skill increasing. People are like, oh, it's health and whatever. Well, there's not much extra. It literally was just a way to stymie and stop and stifle having more drivers. So what I'd love to have is, hey, during a pandemic, wouldn't it be great if people can grab start a new job? They can use their vehicle that they've got to actually
still
build some
like to
income.
see that requirement lifted.
I would still love to see that lifted, yeah, because we've got it's the gig economy. It's like what people have there. I mean, the problem is people are struggling to survive with the wages they're getting, so the gig economy allows people to work on the side. Now, people doing it full time, okay, it's not sufficient, and there is issues with the people trying to do it full time. But no, I would still love to see them reduce the restriction and get rid of the Class 4 requirement, because then lots more people can drive and be drivers. And then again, it's all about increasing supply. We might get Uber, we might not get as much drivers as we had hoped.
You don't need to wait until Uber gets to Kelowna to try ride-hailing. We already have Lucky to Go and Kaboo if you want to take it for a spin. For Kelowna Now, this is Kent Mulgat reporting.